most improved photo that I've seen in the country this year.
As a midfielder at Chaminade, he was one of their top offensive players. He was a two-way guy.
Notre Dame's tough to beat when they get possession after possession after possession, and Will Lynch doing his best.
And that's the beauty of the face-off position in 2024. Elite lacrosse players playing the position.
Will Lynch, he really came on at the end of last year, Clark, and he's carried that through into this year, but he's won 8 of the 11 draws.
8 of the 11, dominant fashion. He's also a two-way midfielder. He can play up and down the field. You know, what's interesting about Will Lynch, he struggled a little bit his freshman year statistically, but he took his lumps and he got better as that year progressed. And then last year in the Final Four against Petey LaSalla and Jake Naso, everyone thought those are the two best face-off guys. He was over 50% on both of them. The thing that's interesting about Will Lynch for me is he didn't take a ton of draws in high school at Chaminade. He had James Ball ahead of him. He was the same class as Machado Rodriguez. You see Ball there who's injured. Rodriguez was one of the best face-off.
He almost played for Coach Simmons, but you didn't do a good enough job on his recruiting visit. Will Lynch, talk about putting a stamp on a game. His dominance at the midfield X pays off with a goal, and that's going to do it.
Look how fired up they are for Lynch. The Irish fans on brand too. Some redheads in the fence. Of course, the Irish. This goal by Will Lynch hits on a lot of levels for me because as a midfielder at Chaminade, he was one of their top offensive players. He was a two-way guy. Didn't face off a ton. He's a right-handed player. He switches to his left to hammer the bottom corner. And that's the beauty of the face-off position in 2024. Elite lacrosse players playing the position. It's a two-handed, two-way midfielder making it count.
With that with that attackman, if they lose a draw, you got two Kavanaughs and Harris, who's in for Taylor.
Even the shorties can rip it.
The most improved photo that I've seen in the country this year. The emotional maturity to ride the waves of success and failure. Remember, he ran first midfield at Chaminade in Long Island, one of the nation's premier private Catholic schools, and so he's a real lacrosse player. He's become a Fogo in college.
You really need this face-off.
Still battling there with Adam Slager. Irish quickly down the field, and they score another. Will Lynch.
He's so dangerous. Comes out of the scrum, gets his own ground ball off of the face-off here, and you can kind of tell from right off that he wanted to score. No one picks him up. He's like, okay, I'll take it. Nice bounce shot.
He scored once all of last season.
In the second half, Will Lynch just absolutely asserting himself right there to me. The effort and the athleticism. He's a very impressive ground ball player. And then again, what I love about him is he can make adjustments as well as any person at the dot in the country. Notre Dame's tough to beat when they get possession after possession after possession, and Will Lynch doing his best to generate this 6-goal lead for the Fighting Irish.
Will Lynch right around 60% in the season. All ACC performer, won 15 of 21 in the ACC final against Duke. Always working on perfecting his craft on the sideline. That pipeline, Matt, from Chaminade High School, it pains me as a St. Anthony's alum to reference it, but Chaminade has provided some outstanding talent for Notre Dame.
St. Anthony for the most part to Duke.
The first two face-offs, Virginia actually won the clamps, and Notre Dame got the ball from the wings. The last two, Lynch has won to himself right here, the push forward. And what's so impressive here is Virginia really wants him taking that shot to shoot it with his offhand, with pace, to the top bar. He's one of the best in the business now in college lacrosse, and he is taking it to the Virginia Cavaliers here in the first quarter. 5 for 5. And his ability to make adjustments last week, not the case. Facing the same Virginia Faceoff team, he has now taken over this game. And right now, the possession, the field is so weighted towards the Fighting Irish, given his dominance at the Faceoff X.
Faceoffs, 2 goals in 5 seconds for Notre Dame. And Lynch wins this one. Now can he escape the poles? He does. Another
that they experienced in the middle of the field last week against Notre Dame.
Will Lynch for Notre Dame. Anthony Gabriel, the Navy transfer at the Faceoff X for Virginia. And the ACC tournament underway. First time they brought the tournament back since 2019.
Ontario went to the Hill Academy School, and Ohio State's changing Faceoff this week.
Maybe, but Ohio State still got a lot of work to do in this one, down by 2 against a tough Fighting Irish squad, but it's a good start.
Will Lynch with the shot, the save from...
I feel like they're poised to make a run, but they got to beat the #1 team in the country and the defending champs. And the first face-off of the game goes Georgetown's way, but they can't do anything with it.
The eye from dead center. It's gorgeous offense.
Notre Dame wins another face-off, 7 of 8.
In the ACC in his journey this year, he started hot. Middle of the season, hit a little bit of a low, but the last bunch of games, McLean has been on fire.
The season for Gray. Lynch and Gerard battling at the X. It's won by Will Lynch, 3 for 3.
2 of those clams, though, won by Gerard. Right, that to me, Lynch is obviously very good at the X, but it's his ability.
2 goals in 53 seconds. The Irish can make a run on you, and when Lynch is winning faceoffs like that, it can get scary.
Cap from Brown has made such an impact for this Notre Dame Irish team.
New faceoff man for Duke, Luke Engelke. It doesn't matter. Lynch wins another. All-Americans Will Lynch for Notre Dame. Alex Stathakis for Denver, and it's the Irish.
The arc, changing directions and just constantly putting pressure on his defender. Faceoffs have been a strong storyline here. Will Lynch, surprisingly, has dominated this matchup. 22 in white, Will Lynch. Not only that, but he scored a goal 4 seconds after a Chris Kavanaugh goal. So when this game was 3-3, you felt like Syracuse had every chance, but next thing you know, the Irish are getting production.
Lynch wins another clamp.
Ohio State right now, they've tried to change their face-off specialist up. They're still in a man-down situation. What's the strategy, Connor?
I think right now you just have to really just press up on defense. Try to just make sure you can't really give up any.
Women's player or fan, please go watch the last 5 minutes of that game between Izzy Skane, Megan Taylor of Northwestern, and the save that Shea.
To me, that looks like the ball is
in on the day. Second assist for Pat Kavanaugh. He has 8 3-assist games or more in this season. The lead grows to 3 for Notre Dame. Parlett in an unsettled
opportunity. They step onto the field.
Face-off control for Will Lynch and all ace.
What has got into the orange now? 3 goals, 3 straight in 1 minute and 33, but the face-off won by Will Lynch. Good job to break it up.
Will, you were incredible. 18 for 23 at the Faceoff X. Why so dominant?
I mean, all credit to our preparation throughout the week. I mean, this group is really the most selfless group I've ever been around. It's not about me, it's about we. And we really dial in throughout the week. Even the guys you don't see on the field, the success you do see is because of them.
I've watched you ascend from freshman year to now. What do you attribute your growth to?
Honestly, experience. When I first started, I really didn't know what to expect originally. But really, the group of guys are always supporting me. There's been some tough bumps along the way. But really, the experience has been a big contributor. We ended last year on a high note. We rode that success all the way into this year. Every week we build on that.
Every team has their own identity. You won a championship last year. What is this year's identity?
I kind of think it goes back to the selfless culture we have. It's when you're a part of a group like this every day, who really just puts their nose down and grinds. I think the culture we've built the last 2 years is something super special, and it's when you're able to live your dream out playing right here with a group of guys that you battle with every day. There's nothing better than that.
Great job, Will. You need an ice bath, bud.
I do.
Cases in February, Mike. I thought that video review was a little frivolous. That was needed, and they got it right.
Yes, especially when it's number 1 versus number 3. You're absolutely right. And the goal,
especially well, and ask you to counter it. You Albany unfazed at the outset
with the football hash marks that you can't see on the field, thankfully.
Lynch wins the faceoff. He has won 11 of 13. Their fans are enjoying it too. 3 goals in the span of 61 seconds.
I thought that looked like Mike Golick Jr. doing some military presses.
No, he's not. In the first round that year, he was Brown's top scorer 2 years in a row. Lynch shovels it back. Face-off won by Lynch. Accelerates ahead, puts it on goal.
Boom. Goal. Will Lynch back for Notre Dame. I tell you, CJ Kirst, he's like the honey badger.
Lynch, good face-off win again. 20 seconds to see if the Irish can put something quickly together. And
Lynch was below 50% going into the national semifinals last year. Virginia looked to have its first face-off, and then Weyer turns it over. Couldn't keep the ball after the hit. Beginning with championship weekend a season ago, up until now, Lynch is winning at about a 60% clip.
Game, one of the top scorers in 2022 when they won it all. You get Malaber back.
Year. The redshirt sophomore. Lynch. Crosses sides of the field.
Put the ball right on the money. Smart pass and an effective pass.
And here's that momentum you talked about, George.
Cradle to rip.
Yes, exactly.
Lynch wins this faceoff. For the first 14 games of last season, Will
7 straight face-off wins for the Irish. One of those make it take.
Rabid hockey fans, they're piping Ranger music after a beauty by younger brother Chris.
Chris has 3.
Weller beaten by Lynch. He'll shoot. Doesn't get.
9th of the season for Gray. Lynch and Gerard battling at the X. It's won by Will Lynch. 3 for Notre Dame in that game. Got goals from a defenseman, a face-off man, an LSM, a short stick D-midi, and from its second and